I wrote, the Hooksett Police Commission for the town of Hooksett is seeking sealed proposals from qualified firms to provide comprehensive studies of the management and operations of the Hooksett Police Department. The study's aim is to determine the degree to which the department is properly accountable, is operating cost-effectively, complies with professional policy standards, and satisfies the crime control and services requirements of the citizens it serves. This audit should be a comprehensive and thorough examination of the organization, reviewing and evaluating current staffing levels both administratively and operationally. It should do a comparative study of the department's needs based on both the size of the town and its population as compared to other communities of similar size. It will evaluate where the department is lacking or progressing. Now, mind you, I took a lot of this language that I heard from you because I took notes. It will evaluate how productively personnel and resources are used in current operations. Assess current fleet management systems. Review and evaluate information and processing operations as well as technology needs. Review and evaluate all handling of evidence and property management. The audit will also comprise of a complete and critical review of the departmental expenses. All in all, whether or not the department is achieving its objectives. The qualified firm awarded this bid should also conduct interviews of current and former employees of the department. Identify operations and management issues of special concern to the Hooksett Police Department. Identify functions performed by the department that can be performed more effectively by alternative means. Identify proper police functions that are not performed by the department presently. Project future workloads and demands. Specify appropriate levels of personnel needed to conduct current and future department operations. As part of the audit, the selected firm will be required to determine any weaknesses and recommendations in a letter to the Police Commission. This letter should include recommendations and any findings, observations, comments relating to the compliance with the rules and regulations. And these are just things that you have put at the end. The firm seeking to respond to this request must provide a proposal and qualification statement that provides the following, and then you list them. And then they have to have a general description of the approach and scope that will be used to meet the RFP, a detailed schedule of the proposed work, including project milestones, a breakdown of persons and hours and costs for the proposed task, and an estimate of direct expenses. This proposal must include and not to exceed a cost for the proposed services. Proposals will be received until, and we put the date in, no proposal will be considered unless fully completed in a manner provided by the RFP packet. Facsimiles and electronic emails will not be accepted, nor will any proposal being accepted after the stated date and time. As part of the audit, the selected firm will be required to perform an evaluation and communicate any weaknesses and recommendations in a letter or report to the Hooksett Police Commission. The letter and report should include, as well as recommendations, any findings, observation, comments relating to the compliance. That's what I have.
Okay.
So you can critique it, do as you will.
I think that they should also look at
Some that I forgot. Yep.
no, I'm
Thinking out loud.
That is, yeah, no, I'm thinking out loud. I just want to make sure that that the management, the type of management that has been done in the past versus what they feel should be done in the future.
The type,
Well, I'm trying to put it into the right language, but I'm not as eloquent as you are when it comes to that. What I'm talking about is I'm hoping in the interviews with past employees as well as present employees, they would get a idea of the type of
styles, is it styles?
the type of management style, discipline style, that sort of thing. To see if things need to improve, if they're okay as the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
But what you've listed there, I think it covers all the bases.
Well, I
that we're
took
looking
notes
for.
of what you were saying
Right.
that night, along with some other things.
Right, because there's more than just a management study.
Yep,
You know, the manpower issue we need to look at, and I
Right.
think you've addressed that. Calls for service we need to look
Yeah.
at versus manpower and coverage. I think that's also listed in there. So I mean, you've covered it quite well, I think. I don't know if there's other, possibly other suggestions that can be had or received to look at, but I think that covers the bases that
right,
we were concerned with,
right.
because it's an overall study, it's an overall assessment, overall audit, to see where our strengths and weaknesses would be with the Hooksett Police Department. I'm sure there's equal amount of, well, I don't know, equal, but there'd be certainly strengths that they would find in this department, as well as weaknesses and where we could improve.
Yeah, I think I have a section about that. Yeah.
So I think you covered it between what I said the last time
Mhm.
and this here, I think is pretty good. I don't know what goes into an RFP.
Well, I have some sample RFPs here that I got from the town. However, most of these are very specific in nature. This one here, what's this one for? It was one of them that, it was an RFP for the assessing department. The other one was an RFP for when they did the computer review. See, this one here is a general assessing one. You can kind of look at this one. This one here was it was the technology one, I believe. Then they have a, a little bit different. Some of them go into the fact of describing what the town, is as far as how large, what the population is. Okay, that was another one. This one here was one that Charles Watson had done for traffic impact studies. What was this one here?
This one's general assessing service.
Yeah. And I think this here is probably just the template that the town uses when somebody is asking them how they go about it. They have an overall template that they use, and the different departments use that. Francine, this is what I had last week. It was not,
That's what he was referring to, I double checked.
well, I don't know what, there's
Yeah,
nothing in there that speaks to it.
I didn't have it in front of me, so I
Yeah,
couldn't.
there was nothing that spoke to it. I had Francine, since Mr. Royce said he would not be able to attend the meeting this evening, I had her ask him if he had anything that he wanted to have included, and he said use the municipal resources, and to look on that sheet that he was given last week, but it had nothing to do with that. This was a recruitment thing for municipal resources, so it has nothing to do with that, so.
This is what was given out in the right to know?
Yes, last week,
Right, yeah,
or whenever we met last,
Right.
okay?
yeah.
So we can certainly use this language if it's okay with you, and then I'll go back and reinsert that part of the study should also include review and evaluating the management styles and discipline styles.
Yes. What, and to kind of qualify that, what I'm looking for is to make sure, what we're looking for is that the employees, no matter where they are in the organization, any discipline is given out, that it's given out equally amongst,
Okay.
for the same type of infraction, of course, if there's different charges against an employee. you
Are
can't-
consistent.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that the discipline is consistent with all employees when it comes to any discipline.